Hello everyone, I'm Cable, and for this video we're going to be playing the A-A-Trox on the Mobilytics website for their TFT builds. I do hope that y'all enjoy the video and that it helps some of the newer players kind of get some builds down. I know on my end, I for one am not a hardcore TFT player. I do enjoy playing with my brothers, and Mobilytics has been an amazing help in my learning how to play. So for this build, we have up in the top left corner, those are the core champions that we're going to be needing for this build. And down in the bottom right is the optimal items for the champions that they are for. So again, this build is going to be focused a lot on AAtrox as well as Callista with Redeemed, and then Ivern and Volibear for Revenant. So we're starting out here. We have a Ziggs and we got our Aatrox, as you can see, and we checked them off the list, and a Callista. So we were able to sell that Ziggs. Now this is a ranked match, so it's going to go a little slower than the hyper roll, which is what I'm used to playing. The ranked it can be more difficult, but in the build like this, it can also be beneficial because you're playing a longer game. Now, I don't really have a choice of anything I need there, so I just buy an Olaf to have somebody out there. And Olaf can be a very strong starter champion playing at the moment. And then another thing is later in the match, you'll notice we'll get a choice of radiant items. Now, with the radiant items, you're free to play how you wish, but I usually do not try to make items until I get the radiant item, because I know one too many times I have gone and made a bunch of items, and then when I got the radiant item, it was an item I already made and there were no other options that I really needed. So I was just kind of like, well, okay then. When I could have used the items for somebody else or something else. And then one of the disadvantages to doing a slow roll build, which basically means that I'm going to try to get to 50 gold before I spend any excess gold. I'll buy champions as they appear in the store, but I do not reroll until I get 50 gold. It's a little rough sometimes because if you don't get the champions you need right away, you are going to run pretty weakly, but we'll see how this goes. And then some champions here for the early game. What you're trying to look for is you're looking for an Aatrox, a Callista, Leona, who I have not found yet. She is a 1 cost, redeemed. And then Syndra, who's also an Invoker, redeemed. Those are what you usually want to try to get in the beginning of the game if you're going to go this build. Another thing with the slow roll is I also, except for at certain points, I do not force a level either. I will only naturally level, I think, except for level 5. Level 5, I do push that level at Krugs just to make sure I was strong enough to kill him. Now, We finally found our Leona, so we're able to put that Leona out and check her off our list. One thing I'm still struggling with quite a bit, right, even at this stage, is having those 2-star champions. I did not get very good luck in getting those 1 costs really quickly. But I am starting to build up a good amount of gold. I'm starting to build some interest. Almost getting to that 50 gold marker. I'm second pick on the items, so I'm kind of looking at what I need. And I end up going with... Oh, that's where I go with the crit glove. I need the crit glove for Callista. I need 2 crit gloves for Callista's build. This one, compared to a lot of other builds that I've done, this one, you need a lot of items, but it has a lot of versatility, like the defensive items versus offensive items. So picking and choosing what I need was a little rough because I had to go, do I want to get a Callista item or an AAtrox item? And I'm pretty sure what I did was I prioritized Callista items and carousels and whatnot because I have this weird luck of always getting all these defensive items with the NPC rounds. So I'd kind of hoped that I would just get a lot of those, and because the Callista items are more sought after for in a carousel. So I've got my Syndra out now. Syndra's a good CC. She can get champions away from her and throw them in damage. I'm a little closer now to some 2 stars, which is good. I need the 2 stars very bad. And I'm also at 35 gold, so I'm only 15 gold away before I can start rolling to try to level up some champions. And then sometimes, honestly, being at the lower end, being at the bottom isn't always the worst thing. If you can make your build come together and grow in power, for the first part of the game, it isn't the worst because you get first priority in carousel. I'm usually one, I like to go to the bottom because I like to have that first pick, where if you're at the top, you get what everybody's left over. Alright, so this is what I said about I forced a level for this just because I really wasn't confident that I could beat the Krugs with just 4. I always hate getting that gold orb and thinking it's a spatula that I actually do need and it not being it. So I got a rod, which I don't need. So that'll go to something else. So I finally got my Callista to 2-star. Actually, I got a bunch of Callistas there. I hit 50 gold, so I was able to freely roll. The reason for the slow roll is, if you notice down in the bottom left, there are percentage numbers, and that's telling you the percentage of the cost of champion, the percentage of a chance you have of getting that champion. The higher level you are, the lower the percentage goes. So if your build is based on one cost being your carries, then you want to slow roll. You don't want to lose that chance of getting the carries and being stuck later down the road. So the goal of this is when you get to 50 gold, you just keep rolling until you get a 3-star. I usually either do till I get a 3-star, or if I start to get that low in health that I'm nervous, I'll roll. I'll level up. And there is my A-Trox. And a Syndra. And you want to keep yourself at 50 gold. You just want to roll till you get to about 50 gold so you can keep that that interest with the 50 gold. Now you see with having the 2 stars now, I'm starting to pick up a little bit better in fighting against others. Now there is a Varus, and I can tell I debate on it for a little bit, but then I got a Lux. Lux is on our list, so we check her off. And if you look up at the top middle of the screen, you'll see the little box that's in front of the wolves. That's the box that we're waiting for. That's got the rating item in it, and that is what we want before we base any of our items. This one's still a little strong for us, so we're gonna take the L here. So we're back in the carousel. And this is again where being that the lower end helped. I was able to go get that BF sword, which is usually a pretty quickly gone item. And of course, as a chomp, you always have to dance. And got another 2-star A-Trox. That's good. That's what we want to see. And I'm getting super lucky with these Syndras. I just now decided to sell my A-Trox. Not my A-Trox, I'm sorry. My Olaf. He did his job. So now we're only looking for Rel, Ivern, and Volibear. And now after this one, we finally get our items, so we can start putting items onto people again. So I'm starting to get a little low on health. I'm only at 44 health, so I'm starting to get a little low. Now look in here. What would be ideal is the Sunfire cape, but that's not available, so I do need a Bramble Vest. So now my Bramble Vest is complete, and so now I'm going to start putting items on Callista. We got an Infinity Edge and a Bloodthirster, and then we're going to put a Redemption onto AAtrox. We are one Callista away from a 3-star Callista, which is amazing. Once we get Callista and AAtrox at least up to level 3, then we can start leveling. They're a little more established than we are. We get our little, at half health, you get this golden orb. It can be a whole variety of stuff. Luckily, I got a spatula, which is what I was needing. And a Reforger. Reforger gives us the chance to reroll an item. It can be a completed item, or it can be a single item, and if a champion has multiple items, it'll change all of it. So you kind of got to be a little careful there. You don't want to use it on a champion. You don't want the items changed on. So we are now also one left for Syndra now too. Still not doing so hot, getting a little nervous here. We're at 21 health. Which means we only have a couple more losses, maybe 2 or 3 before we're out of the game. So it's reaching a point where we're going to need to step it up. So we got the chain vest. That's what we needed for the Sunfire cape. So we can go ahead and take the Sunfire cape and throw that quickly. There's our Ballista 3-star. Gonna get that Sunfire on AAtrox there. And we're just gonna force the level, get another person out there. Got a Rel, so that checked that off the list. And we're gonna probably get rid of that Varus again. And we're gonna use our Nico's help to bring that AAtrox up. This is going to help our game immensely, having those 2 3-starred now. And unfortunately for this guy, this is the guy who's near death, and we're up against him when we just got pretty much like our prime. So we took him out of the game. So at the moment, we currently have the optimal build for our AAtrox, which is awesome. Got another Rel. Now, even though I've gotten my AAtrox and my Callista, if you notice, I'm at 42 gold. So I'm not going to push myself yet. I want to get back to 50 gold so I can get that the max gold build up for it. And now we just watch A-Trox. He just decimates. Beautiful. See right there, that made it. I need the cloak for redeemed, which it made it really nice. Because I mean, that Ivern, if we didn't already have a spatula, that Ivern would be perfect because that's exactly who we needed on. But that guy took that so quick, we'd had no chance. Now we just need to find an Ivern for ourselves. Now, usually what I do at this point is if I'm still looking for champions, I'll kind of split my gold. I'll put, if I'm above 60, I'll go to like 59 or something in leveling and then use the rest for champions. Unless I'm feeling pretty strong now, so I don't feel like I have to rush that level 7. If I had a Volier and Ivern, I might rush a little more, but since I don't have a champion really to put out right now, I'm not going to rush it. This one honestly made me a little nervous, but then it was all good. And now we have our rank 3 Syndra. Abomination usually is always a real hard one to go up against. When that Abomination comes out, it can just completely wreak havoc on your entire team. But our AAtrox is handling everything else pretty well. Go ahead and sell those champions because we don't need them. So now I'm going to be level 7. Now, I'm going to buy a Karma just because Karma is a good champion to have. And I'm going to make her redeemed until I find what I'm looking for. That's going to give me my redeemed 6 now. Grab that Lux up. Another thing that's really different from a normal game versus Hyper Roll. Hyper Roll, you really have to start being careful about what you buy and who you buy, because you can just run out of gold so easily. Where here I've got gold saved up, so I can just continue to buy champions as I need them to try to 3-star. Sometimes in Hyper Roll, you've got to start making choices. That AAtrox is just killing it. And then usually when it comes to placement, as long as I hit top 4, I'm happy. Because then I at least go up. I go up in rank. I go up in LP. I don't go down. So as long as it's 4th or above, I'm happy. So there, I finally got the Iron, so I'm going to sell that Karma. Put that redeemed on him. Now all I'm looking for is the Volley Bear. So we are on a 7-win streak now since we have gotten our build complete. We are looking pretty good. So in this one, I'm gonna actually take an item for Lux. I've done Lux builds in the past, so I know what goes strong with her. One of them is being the Archangel Staff. When you want to build a Lux items, Archangel Staff, Spiritosion, and a Rage Blade are always amazing choices for her. She will shield. She shields and then does a powerful attack when she does her little spinny thing. It can be pretty clutch. There we go with the rank 2 Rel. And now I'm slowly going to start working up to level 8. Once I get to level 8, I can just focus on champions. I'm not pushing till 9. It's a lot of gold, and I have no real need for it. Every time I come past Tavares, I kind of stop and I'm like, should I get it? And I'm just like, nah. So we've reached up now to a 9-win streak. So again, and we're almost top 4. So here I'm gonna just buy these Nocturnes because they're also Revenant. So that's gonna give me Revenant 2 for our Ivern. And then I decided to switch it up. I put a Fiddlesticks in, which I believe also gives me Mystic 2. I'm gonna put that. Now with Callista, I was never able to get that Last Whisper. So I instead just decided to put the Hand of Justice on her to give her a 3rd item. So we've reached our top 4. So that's good. That is really good. Now we're top 3. That one is out. Oh, not even top 3. We are at the top 2. So I'm starting to notice we're not really getting a Volibear. So Fiddlesticks probably is going to stay for a little bit. And I guess I also decide this is when I start rolling. Normally I would actually roll a lot sooner than this. I don't know why I didn't roll any sooner. But we got that 2-star Ivern. We're 1 away from a 3-star Lux. So pretty much if you get the items that you need or you have items that don't go with your build, you just kind of try to put them where you see fit and where they would go good. Like I decided since Syndra was also 3-star, I gave her the Thieves Glove. Any additional boost would be a good boost. We're going to go back to 1 final carousel. And where I'm sitting here kicking myself because there is a Last Whisper there, I'm going to take the Spear Sojin for my Lux. Since I don't have a way of getting that Hand of Justice off that Callista. There's our 3-star Lux. He tried moving his stuff. That Kale. That Kale, when she gets to her final form, is a tough one to beat. So we're going to have one more round with them. Gonna get that Fiddlesticks leveled up. So he tried moving stuff again. He moved his kill over to another corner. And it's not really going to do that great because that's the first thing that Syndra's going to do is just toss him towards that Kale. And with that, that will give us the W. And with this build, we, in a ranked game, hold first place out without getting a volley bear, but still did really good. Now, in our next part, we're going to take this exact same build and we're going to head into hyper roll. Alright, so this one is hyper roll. For those of you who have never played hyper roll before, hyper roll is much more fast paced than a normal TFT game. You get 20 health instead of 100, but you don't have to worry about leveling the game levels for you. Every so many rounds you level up. So you don't have to worry about banking gold to level up. So for this one, we're going to start out, we're going to grab that Callista, because not only does that have a Callista item we can use, but just Callista in general. So you see over on the right, we only have 20 health. Now again, where in the other match we were trying to bank gold, this one, especially since we are a lower build trying to go for the lower champions, we're going to roll gold as much as possible. There we go with our Leona and our A-Trox, so we check those off the list. So we're already off to a good start. We got a cloak, so that can help out, and then there's a chain vest, which is another item we need. Some champions we can sell there. Gonna go ahead and take that BF sword because that's another one we need. We're gonna just keep leveling up people here as fast as we can. Gonna take that Varus just for safekeeping, just in case. With hyper roll, you want to try to get those rank 1 champions leveled as fast as possible, or you could get stuck not being able to tier 3 them. Since you don't get the opportunity to stop yourself from leveling, so you start to lose that percentage chance real quick. Not only that, but you can lose a lot quicker as well. There's no, other than the initial carousel, there are no other carousels in hyper roll. You get the little option where it pops up with different items at different stages. You also get your radiant item much sooner in this one. Alright, there we go. Rank 2 Leona, and we got a Syndra, so we can get rid of that Varus. So we're off to a strong start at the moment. The one downfall to not losing is the only way to earn income is by losing. That extra income, you automatically get so much gold. The game predetermines how much gold you get, but if you lose, you also get 2 extra gold. Which in this case, that would have made or break this Leona. And Olaf early game is death to so many comps. He's just so strong early game. Especially with that Bloodthirster on. But see, now I was able to buy that Leona. Now this one, obviously I have 2 gold, so right now I don't want to roll because everything I have I need. So it would be pointless. I would have to buy anything in a refresh, I would have to sell something. So close there, so close. Got those rank 2s, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw another Leona out there. Now see, this one, after Krugs, we're gonna get our Radiant items so we can start building stuff a lot faster. Now what you see down there, you sell that, and it's gonna give us different options of things. See, like we're getting Abomination, Brawler, Renewer, and Knight. I don't know why I picked Renewer, but I did. I don't know why. I thought that I was gonna have Renewer down the road. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Bloodthirster. We got the Radiant Sunfire Cape, which is the ideal item for AAtrox. And then we got a Spatula. But one thing that's nice about Hyper Roll is if you make it further down the game, you'll get to be rank 9 anyway. So as much as it's nice to have the Spatula, if I don't get the Spatula item that I need, I can just put out another redeemed in its place with that 9th spot. There's our luck, so we can check her off.
Rouse thyself for combat.
Get us some gold. recurve bow. Now we're gonna have an infinity edge on our
I
Callista.
have to focus, but I can't stop smiling.
Our duel begins.
Here, I decide I'm just gonna lock my bar.
I have to focus, but I can't stop smiling. Hope you like rainbows.
So now we have that rank 2 Lux. I'm just kind of pondering what am I going to do with this renewer emblem I have. All right, so I need a seventh person to put out there, so I do pick up a Gwen. I'm gonna slap that renewer, I believe, on
But
her.
I can't stop smiling.
I am untouchable.
So after wolves, you really stop getting single items. So I'm gonna go and decide to put what I have together. So I'm gonna put that bramble vest for an AAtrox on him that we need. And then I'm gonna put a rage blade on Callista since I was not able to get the last whisper yet again. So this loss here is going to give us our box. Where we get another little thingy and a bunch of gold. So let's see what we get here. Knight, Sentinel, Invoker, Mystic. I don't know why I didn't pick Mystic. It didn't click at all in my head that we would get Mystic 3.
Snuff
So there
out
we got a
this
3-star
simpering
Leona there. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Vel'Koz. That's how I'm gonna make up my not having the redeemed 6. Now, this Karma is decked out, so it hurts. So this is going to put us at 4 health, which means if we lose one more time, we're out. So more Namicon, not what we want, but it'll work. So we got our Ivern, so we check that off the list. We're just gonna add all these items to Lux. It's gonna level our Vel'Koz up. No, I could have put that, but I just didn't want to. And there's our Rel.
The hardened live.
Check her off. So Teemo costs 1 health, but he's worth 5 gold. So in a pinch, but you never want to hurt yourself. Like if I had 7 health right now, I would not have bought the Teemo because that'd put me at 6, which would be insta death. But I'm at 4 health, so as long as I don't go under 1, buy all the Teemos I want for 5 gold. Now, this is like part of the game where I was talking about with that early game buys. I've been sitting on these A-Troxes for so long trying to let rank 3 that A-Trox, and I'm not seeing any more A-Troxes. There's another Teemo. I'm going to scoop that up. 5 gold. Oh, and there is our Volibear. So technically our build is complete now. I am going to wait till the next round to put Volibear out. Simply because I don't want to lose my redeemed 6. That is, when I start selling stuff like that, I'm looking for the A-Trox. Trying hard to rank 3 him. So that Draven, that's one that's been giving us problems too. But we're lucky there with Daisy. Daisy knocks up and then Syndra throws. So we take him out.
I have to focus, but I can't stop smiling.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw our little Volibear out. Now the reason normally I would sell my Luxes to get that Volibear, but I know on an NPC like this, he's gonna throw out at least 2 gray bubbles, if not a gray and a blue, and it's gonna have gold in it. So I'm banking on that gold to not have to sell my Luxes. And luckily I did not put the Morinamicon or that Titan's Resolve because I got the redemption that I didn't need for that A-Trox. So I completed my A-Trox build right there. And we're just gonna go ahead and give Volibear the Titan's Resolve. And now our Volibear is gonna be ranked 2. Now that's where I sell the Luxes because now I'm just desperately seeking another A-Trox. Just desperately. Viego can be death to so much. If he gets to complete his cast and kills your champion while casting, your champion becomes the opponent's. And that can really suck if it takes a carry. Alright, so we at least got top 4. That's always the goal, top 4. We're once again desperately looking for that Aatrox. Alright, so we take the loss there, but we do get second place, which isn't bad. I will take it.